This video is brought to you by Gladiator Concealment and S4 Tactical Gear. Links are in the description box below. What's up, guys? It's Michael and Kyle with AKM Tactical. We appreciate y'all watching. Part 2 in our EDC update series. We did the video talking about Kyle's stuff and everything that he's changed, and so now we're going to kind of go over mine. First of all, like we said in the previous video, our channel is really it's really focused around everyday carry. What you're going to carry every day, and we have done I don't know how many videos talking about the things that you should carry. So I don't want to go into detail about that, and I don't want to take up any time doing that. So we'll just jump right into the gear first. Same as I've always carried. TK4 tourniquet. That has never changed. If I'm wearing cargo pants or cargo shorts, I don't really wear cargo pants, but if I'm like in the summertime, if I'm wearing cargo shorts, I may carry this Pocket Vac from Tactical Response. We did a dedicated video on it. This thing is great. It has a lot of neat little stuff inside of it, and if I have a pocket big enough, I can throw it in there. Something I'll talk about here in a little bit on the video, but you can actually carry this in a pair of jeans, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Same as far as my knife. This is the Kershaw Shuffle 2. This one is done by Weapon Works LLC. It's in multicam. They Cerakoted it. I love this knife. It's a cheap knife, really. This one wasn't, because it was a custom deal. Well, I say it wasn't. It was like $40, which is still not bad for a decent little knife. But you can have these knives for like $20 if you're cool with just buying one that's not custom.
And they have a smaller version.
Yeah, the Shuffle
get for like they'll put on sale for like $7.
Yeah, it's a good little knife for what it is. Kershaw Blur with the Tonto blade. I really like this knife. This is a Ken Onion design. We've talked about this knife before. It's got a lot of grip to it. It deploys fast. If I'm not carrying a fixed blade, I'll usually carry both of these because this can get it open and get it in the fight quick. I don't recommend necessarily using a folding knife for that, but a lot of people's been stabbed in their lifetime with a folding knife. So, anyways. Wallet is a SOE wallet, nothing really fancy there. When I do carry a fixed blade, it's the Ka-Bar TDI. We've talked about that in a previous video. This thing is really nice. It's lightweight. I still haven't bought a good sheath for it yet. I'm waiting to try to figure out what I want, but this thing does okay if you're cool with carrying it in the upright position. This does fine for that. But the Ka-Bar TDI is really nice and lightweight, and it's pretty inexpensive.
You carry that weak side, right?
I carry that on my weak side, yep, just like that. That way I can get it out like this. Let's see. My flashlight of choice as of right now is the Surefire 6PX Tactical. This is the momentary only. You press it, you can press down as hard as you can, and all it's going to do is come on and be in that high setting. It's 325 lumens, which is not the brightest light in the world, but this is a really bright 325 lumens to me. I don't know the candela and all that, but
a lot of dudes carry that light.
A lot of people carry this light. They have the G2X or I think it's a G2X. Anyways, it's a polymer model of this light, and it's a little bit cheaper. It's a lot cheaper actually, but I like a good aluminum bodied light, just because if you had to hit somebody with it or something like that, it's nice to have something that's got a little beef to it. I will say that the head on this thing is really it's kind of thick to be carrying. I do it, and it's not necessarily a big deal, but I really am looking into that Streamlight 2LX. I'm really looking into it. Surefire is coming out with a light called a Tactician. It's one that James Yeager designed. It's built a lot like the Streamlight, but it's 800 lumens, and it's a momentary only switch. and I can't decide if I'm going to wait for it. You know, it's going to be really expensive, and that's one of them things that we talked about. You know, you need to kind of make your mind up if you're cool with spending $200 on a light to carry every day. I don't know that I am. So as of right now, I'm going to keep carrying this 6PX till I make my mind up what I want to do. It serves me well. It does what I want it to do. Belts, I always wear S4 belts. Always wear S4 belts. Unless I'm going to church and I need to have something more dressy, then I wear my Core Essentials trackline belt. But other than that, it's S4. It's either this multicam or this gray. Both of them work well. Both of them do what I need them to do. I can't speak highly enough about what Dave does at S4. His gear is great, and we love it. We love his belts. Something that's kind of new that I don't always carry, but I do sometimes carry, is an extra tourniquet. And you know, we have preached on the TK4 and how great it is for what it is. You know, for a little small, concealable, you know, throw in your pocket and forget it's there tourniquet, they do the job okay. But there's nothing that replaces how good a cat tourniquet is. There's no tourniquet out there that can replace a good cat tourniquet. You know, or a soft T-wide or whatever, you know, that style of tourniquet. So when I have the clothing on that permits it, I will throw a cat tourniquet in my pocket. It's just one of those things that, you know, the more I stop and think about it, if I'm with my family, there's 3 of us, and really and truthfully, I should carry a tourniquet for everybody. So a good cat tourniquet, if you can manage it, is a good thing. If I carry this, I'm usually not carrying this. So it's just one of those things. Just depends on what I feel and what I think I can get away with that day. This is something new. This is something that Kyle actually gave me. I had looked into getting something like this, and he had one he never used, so he gave it to me. I like the idea of carrying a magazine in my pocket sometimes. Just a little less bulk on my belt, and just to, you know, there's days, and we'll go into that, when I'm feeling really lazy. This serves that purpose well. The cool thing about this is it'll fit a Glock magazine, it'll fit a Canik magazine, it'll fit a Smith & Wesson magazine, a SIG magazine.
Standard double stacks.
It'll fit if it's in your pocket, it'll fit a single stack. You know, I mean, it's going to slide around, but in your pocket, it's not going to fall out of the sleeve. So, I mean, it's very universal in that you can throw any magazine in it, and then you have a spare magazine in your pocket. So this is made by DeSantis, and we'll do a review on it later on. But,
and guys, DeSantis makes good stuff.
Yeah, they make good stuff.
You know, they're not some of you older school guys, you know, that carry leather and stuff. Y'all probably know who they are. They make good quality stuff. And Jaeger, does he carry Galco or Galco? But you know, they're kind of in that same category. I would put them in. I bought this years ago, and it does have a size to it. It's a JJ. Whatever, you know, however, I don't know how they do their sizes, but it's specifically for, you know, the Glock. But like you said, it'll fit all your double stacks, and you know, even I've never carried a single stack in it, but apparently even a single stack.
Yeah, you can carry a single stack.
And it's got this grippy material that, like, so when you go to draw the mag, this stays in your pocket.
Yeah, I've never had an issue with the mag, with it coming out with the mag. So
yeah.
that's a plus. So now we'll get on to more of the gun stuff. I guess first of all, we'll go over this. This is a cheap Uncle Mike's pocket holster. People are going to say, oh my God, Uncle Mike's. And Uncle Mike's is crap. I mean, it really is. But for a pocket holster, this thing actually works pretty well. It's got leather that's sewn across it, so you don't have to worry about this material creeping into the trigger guard of the gun. And it does pretty good. There's days that I do pocket carry. I'm not recommending that you pocket carry, but there's days when I feel really lazy and I want to pocket carry, and this works well for the Glock 26. It fits it well. You can fit a 43 in it. You know, you can fit. You might could fit a shielded, and I don't know, but you know, for pocket carry, it works pretty well. Something else that I like to do with it, if I'm not gonna pocket carry my gun, is I can take a magazine and a flashlight, and I can put the flashlight in the front and the magazine in the back and throw that in my pocket. And I've practiced with it, and it works pretty well. I can reach in. I don't have any trouble fishing. I can reach in, pull my magazine out. I can reach in, pull my flashlight out. So it's just a little, you know, if I'm not going to pocket carry my gun, but I'm pocket carrying a mag and my flashlight, it's just a little organizer I can throw in my
Or if you
pocket.
want an extra mag.
Or if I wanted to carry an extra mag, you know, and it keeps my flashlight upright, it keeps my flashlight from floating around in my pocket, and it keeps my magazine from catching any lint.
Is that a 19 or a 17 mag?
This is a 17 round mag. I always carry a 17 round spare mag. It doesn't matter what Glock I'm carrying. So, you know, that is what it is. So we'll get into the Kydex and the guns now. I guess we'll start here. You know, anybody that watches our channel knows that I bought the Canik TP9 SF Elite, and this gun's got, I don't know, probably at least 1,000 rounds through it. Don't you imagine?
Yeah.
Pretty close to it. You know, I had said that I had 1,000 rounds of Tula that I was going to run through it, but we have ran all kind of stuff through it. I have ran nothing but Tula through it, and I've probably ran 700 rounds or 800 rounds of Tula through it. And we've ran Wolf through it. We've ran some. Did we run some American Eagle through it?
Mm-hmm.
I think we ran some American Eagle through it.
Some brass,
some
and
Blazer
steel.
Blazer brass, steel case. I mean, brass, steel case. This thing has ate up everything we've ran through it. All I've got to do is run a few hollow points through it, and this one is going in the rotation. I haven't technically carried it yet, but I, in my mind, know that it's squared away to carry. It is riding in a Go Hard Holsters inside the waistband holster, and I'm going to tell you right now, I do not like this. This has got to change. This is something that I wanted to try out. It was a local guy, and I don't care for, I say local to us, he's from Baton Rouge, but I don't care for the design. I don't like the way it's designed. We'll probably do a review on it, and I'll go over some of the points that I don't really care about it. The fit's fine, you know, I mean, it holds the gun well. I just don't like the design. I don't care for the design of it. I got to get Manny to get me hooked up with a good inside the waistband holster for this. But the Canik is going in my rotation, so that's something new. I have no issues with it. This holster does conceal well, I will say that. But the gun in itself is squared away and good to go. So that one's going to go in. When I do carry it, I'll carry a spare 18 rounder, and I'll carry it in the DeSantis holster. So that's good.
Now what magazine is that? The 18 rounder.
That's the standard Canik TP9 magazine, the SA, SF. You know, they all run the same magazine. That's one thing about the Caniks, is they're kind of like the Glock in that aspect. They all will run the same magazine. So yeah, they're made by Metgar, and they're.
Could you run my holster for my Canik with us?
Yep. Yeah, it'll run. That's another thing too about them. The way that they're designed is the holster. If you can run the SF Elite, the SFX, if the holster is built for the SFX. The SFX is the long-barreled version. They'll all run in the same holster. So technically, if you had an SF and an SF Elite, if you bought an SF holster, you'd be good to go.
Tell them about the sights.
The sights are made by Warren. They are a fiber optic front sight and a U-notch rear. They have a good ledge on them. These sights came with the gun. I'm not going to change them out.
They're nice.
They're nice. They work well. They do what they're supposed to do. Trigger on this gun is about as good as you're going to get in the Striker Fired game from the factory. I love it, man. It has performed 100% for me. So it is going into the carry rotation. So I've got hollow points. I may run through it. I may start carrying it today. You just never know. But yeah, that's kind of new for me. The good old gold standard Glock 19 that I have put I don't know how many rounds through and shot through fighting pistol. This thing is beat up and
our Glock 19 see the most.
It sees the most range time. This gun gets shot more than anything. You can tell if we did a close up, all the slide wear. I mean, the Cerakote's just disappearing in places all over it. It always rides in a Gladiator concealment holster. I will carry it in this holster if I'm not running a light, and the days I'm running a light, I carry it in Manny's light bearing holster. Both of them are just as comfortable. I can't really tell where one is less comfortable than the other. It just depends on what I want to do that day. You know, it's a little bit lighter if you don't run the light, so sometimes I won't run the light, but if I'm, like he said, you know, in his video, if it's something going on where I'm going to the movies or something like that, and I know that if I had to pull my gun, I would need that light, then I run this. Conceals just as well as this, and it's just as comfortable. It's just a little bit heavier, is all it is. But you know, this Glock 19 has seen some wear and tear. The slide is going to end up having to have something done with it, and
Jaeger Works.
Jaeger Works is probably what's going to end up doing my slide work, and that's going to be pretty cool. But that's way on down the road. And I guess last but not least is the little baby Glock, the little Glock 26. This gun gets carried a lot. Yeah, really and truthfully, this gun and this gun are in a dead heat for which one gets carried. I can't say that I carry one more than the other. I love my Glock 26. It's riding, got some excess big dots riding on top of it. You know, we've done a video, I think we did a video on the big dots. We did a video on just sights, night sights in general. The big dots, there's a lot of controversy over the big dots. There's a lot of people out there that don't like big dots. I say for little subcompact guns, big dots are awesome. They, you know, you just pull out there, that big old dot is just sitting right out there. You just put it on what you want to hit and press the trigger, and it takes care of it. It's got plenty enough of a ledge to run them one-handed, and I can't speak highly enough of my little Glock 26. I love this gun. It either, like I said before, rides in my pocket, or it rides in my dedicated Gladiator Concealment Glock 26 holster. This thing is money for what it is, man. I love running this setup right here.
It disappears.
It disappears. There's no doubt about it. And last but not least, if I'm not carrying a mag in my pocket, I carry a magazine in a Gladiator Concealment single mag pouch outside the waistband. There's a lot of companies out there making inside the waistband mag pouches, but you don't have to have all that. I mean, with a t-shirt, you're good to go.
That's my carry method of choice for my magazine.
It's a lot more comfortable, and it's concealed.
I even carry a double mag pouch sometimes.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it. It's there, and nobody's gonna see it. I promise you. But guys, that's really all I have. You know, I wish that I could tell you that I can carry the Cat, the Pocket Bach, you know, the TK4. I wish I could tell you that I could carry all that at one time, but you just don't have the clothes. You know, you'd have to wear 511 pants all the time, and I'm not a big fan of doing that. I don't want people to know that I have a gun. I don't want to look like a gun guy. I wear these hats and stuff in the videos. I don't wear hats with gun stuff on them. I used to, and I've gotten away from that. I don't want anybody to look at me and say, that guy's carrying a gun. I don't even really... I sometimes wear my Solomons. That's probably about the only thing that I wear that gun guys wear, but Solomons are like hiking shoes, man. There's a lot of people wear them. But I do sometimes wear my Solomons. But other than that, if you see me on the street, I'm in a Star Wars t-shirt or some kind of, you know, super nerdy comic book hero t-shirt or something like that. You know, I mean, that's just the kind of guy I am. You know, and I told you that I was going to come back and talk about this. You can carry this in a pair of jeans, and I'll tell you why. If you can carry this in a pair of jeans, you can carry, drop it. You can carry this in a pair of jeans. So honestly, if I'm running my 26 inside the waistband, I could actually get away with running this in my pocket. And so for that matter, I guess I could carry a Cat tourniquet. So
it's doable, guys.
It's very doable.
This is the most important stuff. You know,
absolutely. I keep coming back on it because it's so important.
And like we said, you know, at least carry something where you can like slow the bleeding down a little bit.
Yep.
If you were to have, you know, some major. I mean, if you're gonna punch holes, you need to be able to.
Yeah.
You know, do something about stopping some holes. So, at least carry a tourniquet. At least, and then have the other gear close at hand.
Yeah, and the thing is, guys, you're more likely to use this stuff than you will any of the cool guy stuff. Carry that medical.
Car wrecks happen all the time.
I can't tell you how many times in my life, in 33 years, I've drove up on a car wreck, or drove by where there's already ambulances there, but somebody's had a car wreck. You don't never know when you might be that guy that pulls up on the scene of a wreck and has to try to help somebody. And you may have this stuff and say, I don't know how to use this, but there may be somebody there that does. My brother-in-law one time was going to work. I don't know if he fell asleep. We don't know what happened, but he flipped his car end over end into a ditch on his way to Shreveport to work. Shreveport's about an hour and 15-20 minutes from here, and he was real early in the morning. I think he was working days back then, and he had a wreck. The guy that pulled up to work his wreck had no idea what to do with him, but my brother-in-law, who was a nurse for years and a CRNA now, knew exactly what to do, and he was able to tell that guy what to do to himself. So think about that. Think about the consequences of you rolling up on a wreck and not having this gear to potentially save somebody's life. You might not know how to use it, but there's a good chance somebody there will know how to use it.
Or there will be somebody there shortly.
And it may be the guy laying there. You never know. So if you can get away with carrying this stuff, carry it. At the very least, carry a tourniquet.
Yep.
You got anything you want to add to it?
That's it, brother.
Guys, we appreciate y'all watching. You know what to do. Like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, you can put them in the comment section below, but you can always jump over to the Facebook page. We always get into a more in-depth conversation there. We will also provide links to all of our social media outlets and sponsors in the description box below. But anyways, guys, we appreciate y'all watching, and y'all be safe.